Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tales of Three, an all-queer, narrative-driven D&D podcast where your three GMs are also your three PCs. My name is Dusty, my pronouns are they, she, and I play Ivy Nightbreeze Tinkerfey, whose pronouns are she, her. And after all that sneaky sneaks, I don't even know what else is left here in the podcast, honestly. I think it should just be sneaky sneaks the whole time.
The ultimate goal, really.
Oops, all sneaky sneaks.
Hello, everyone. My name is Wayra. My pronouns are she, they, and I play Véres, whose pronouns are he, they. And, I'm really down for the sneaks. I'm not, however, down for Elara taking credit for my shit.
You're welcome. But apparently Véres is.
Hey, why not? No, I think it's funny as hell. I'm here for it.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ariana. My pronouns are she, her. I play Elara Spindlespark, whose pronouns are also she, her. And I am drinking dandelion tea in Ivy's name.
She's not fucking dead.
Honor.
And in Ivy's honor.
Do you know something I don't?
A note regarding content warnings. This campaign is a dark fantasy that deals consistently with topics of body horror, complicated relationship dynamics, emotional distress, fantasy violence, gore, mechanized spiders, mental health and illness, profanity, and romantic and sexual relationships. A full list of episode-specific content warnings can always be found in the show notes of each episode. Last time, Elara and Ivy not so stealthily followed Véres back into the tunnels. Véres, the only one being actually stealthy in this scenario, picked a lock and knocked out 2 guards, and also gave Ivy and Elara a stern warning about the dangerous situation they were going into. After they agreed to be quiet and follow Véres' lead, the three continued their investigation into the cult and high magic areas. They backtracked their way to the break room, finding a chute stained with blood and a previously unlocked door now sealed with some sort of arcane lock. Eventually, they found a hole leading down, and with the use of Elara's block and tackle, they made their way down to find a dead body and another tunnel. They carried on to another room where they found an unconscious Jeffrey lying on the ground. Elara quickly stabilized him, and the group planned to get him out, but then Ivy began to hear strange noises coming from down a hallway. And not long after, 2 jellyfish creatures came into view, one dragging a corpse wrapped in his tendrils. We pick up now with the creatures rushing into the room. Véres, are you looking down the hall?
Yep.
So you see this as well?
Mm-hmm.
As the first creature, the one dragging the body, comes to crest through, you can take opportunity attack on it if you feel so inclined.
I do feel so inclined. I'm gonna get a good hit on it. Please, for the love of God. Yeah, that is a 16 to hit.
That hits.
So I think Véres reaches behind him and pulls the scythe out. And for a whopping 12 points of slashing damage.
Nice.
Just comes down and slices through the jellyfish-like thing as best he can.
It takes the damage, you wail into this thing, and then it kind of slides underneath it, screeching as it takes this unexpected pain, still dragging this body, and it drags it about 20 feet past you. And then the other one is going to also come bursting out of the hallway, and it's going to stop right by Ivy as it comes through again, Véres.
I held my action to attack it. I'll take a reaction to do this. 22 to hit.
Okay, that hits.
That's 11 points of slashing damage. This one I think he's going to go up this time instead of down. Reverse motion and try to cut into it as deep as he can.
Nice. And you hit it and it does the same thing. It screeches and I think the momentum of it running and not knowing that you were there waiting to hit it with your scythe, it winds up stopping in front of Ivy. I need everybody to roll initiative.
Hell yeah.
And I think Elara stands up and she just goes, "What is that?"
To hell if I know, just hit it.
For a 9 on the die.
22?
21.
Nice.
Damn. Dynamic duo, let's go.
Véres, you are up first. You have one of these jellyfish creatures standing about 10 feet away from you in front of Ivy. And then you have the other one who dragged the body about 15 feet away from you and also kind of away from everybody else off to itself.
I'm gonna do something weird.
Do it.
It's fun. I want him to take his scythe to the jellyfish thing and try to, like, with the slash, also, like, push it away from Ivy.
Okay.
23 to hit.
That hits.
That's 12 points of slashing damage again. And then, yeah, I want to, maybe with it, if I have to, use his bonus action to try to shove him.
So I think that you can make a strength check, a contested strength, and we'll count it as your bonus action, but we can flavor it as the scythe.
Okay. 21?
Yeah. So you can describe how you shove. It rolled a 2 and it has a -2 to strength, so it rolled a 0.
Awesome. Okay. I think that lurching into action, he, like, rushes forward towards Ivy with his scythe out and makes the correction to swing it with the momentum and just kind of, like, shove him with, like, as he slashes into the body of it, just shove him back towards the other one.
Yeah, okay, so you get up, like, right beside Ivy, and then you're able to push it away.
Perfect.
Ivy, it's your turn.
Ivy is going to yell a bit in surprise and disgust. Okay, and she's going to whip her hand up, and you guys watch as frost forms at her fingertips and shoots from them. And the one that Véres pushed away from her needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
That's a natural 20. Sorry.
So it dodges out of the way.
Is that, yeah, because we're saying natural 20 on spell saves, take no damage. Okay.
Yeah, it sees it coming and, like, dodges out of the way.
Sorry.
It's okay. Oh, I need to roll for Bia.
Oh my god, yeah, roll initiative.
18.
So you all watch as the jellyfish creature that was dragging this corpse, they have 6 tendrils, and you watch 3 hook into one side of the corpse's mouth, and you watch the other 3 hook into the other side of the corpse's mouth, and you hear a crack. And then you watch as this thing disappears inside of the mouth of the corpse.
Ew.
And then you watch the corpse's neck twitch a little bit. And then you watch a hand move, and a hand come behind, and it lifts up in, like, a bridge pose with the neck kind of lolling behind, and it walks on all 4s backwards towards Véres and Ivy.
I don't like that. Thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.
It's midnight.
Chrissy, wake up.
It's midnight. I generally go to bed after these.
I do need everybody, because it was in view of everyone, to make a wisdom saving throw. Yes, Elara passes. She got a 19 on the die.
It's a 15.
Okay. Ivy?
I can't do math. 18 plus 6.
You pass. Okay, so everyone passes. Congratulations.
Oh, thank fuck.
So you all you watch this, and you are all kind of, like, disgusted, and it's really scary and really creepy, but you're all able to shake off this kind of, like, dread and fear that's, like, starting to kind of take over. And you're like, fuck that, we got this, right?
I like to think the Véres is like, ew.
Gross.
Yeah. But it is going to take its attack on Véres.
Cool. I'm getting fucked up.
Does a natural 20 hit? Why can't I only roll high for monsters?
Yeah, I think that hits.
Okay, so Véres, you are going to take 15 points of necrotic damage.
Oh, okay.
And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. 21.
You pass. This is the one that's in the body. So the body kind of stands up all the way to face you, and it literally just, like, rakes its hand across your chest, and for a second it doesn't even feel like anything, and then you start to feel this, like, burning kind of, like, necrosis taking over. There's no physical wound, but you feel it on the inside.
Okay. I have permanent damage.
Wow.
Because that was half my hit points.
Sorry.
You sure you're sorry?
Okay, that's Bia's turn.
You guys watch as Bia gives, like, a war cry and brandishes her elbows and just dive bombs.
Nice.
Fuck him up, Bia. Let's go.
That is a 21 to hit.
That hits.
That's 5 points of piercing damage.
Nice.
On
The one that attacked Véres pile dives into this thing and then flies back up.
That is the jellyfish's turn, who is not currently inhabiting a human.
And I hope it stays that way.
Ivy, it turns to you and it takes 2 of its tendrils. They tap the temples of your forehead. I need you to make an intelligence saving throw, please.
7.
All right. Ivy.
Sorry.
This tentacle guy taps your temples and you start to hear rock crumbling, and you look at the floor and you see right in the center of the room, it looks like it's collapsing. It's getting bigger and bigger, and it looks like it's starting to travel towards you. You are convinced that the illusion is a reality. So right now, this room the floor is falling out.
Okay.
Okay, now it's Elara's turn. So Elara is going to run to the opposite side of the hole, away from Jeffrey and away from everybody. And she's going to line herself up with both creatures. And she's going to take a vial out of her pocket and uncork it. And you see these like neon green sparkles that are kind of floating around in the vial. And she flicks her wrist, and you watch as these green sparkles kind of fly out, and they all swarm. They're going to swarm the both of these creatures. And she's going to try to coat the both of them in acid. They need to make dexterity saving throws, which they are proficient in, but let's see. Okay. So I'm going to say the one that's a jellyfish passes, and the one that's not a jellyfish fails. So the jellyfish deftly dodges the attack, but the one in the human body has a little bit more trouble.
And new body who dis.
Yeah, new body who dis, exactly. And so that one...
It's been a while since he's possessed a body. Give him a break.
Ooh, so... The nanobots pelt into this thing, and you watch as the acid starts to eat away, but you also watch some of them kind of die away, and it doesn't seem like it takes as much damage as it should. So they're only going to take 3 points of acid damage instead of 6. Top of the round. Véres, you're up.
What's up? So Véres got his shit rocked. Like, he's not doing so hot. I think that he straightens up, takes a deep shuddering breath that is clearly giving him pain just to do. How far away is the first one?
Okay, so one of them is right in front of you, the one with the body is right in front of you, and the jellyfish is flanking to your right.
Okay. I think that he is going to straighten up and look, like stand his full height.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to lift the scythe up and just come straight down on the one in front of him.
Okay, the one with the body?
Yep. That's nice. 25 with a natural 20.
Yeah, okay. So what's your damage die?
It's 12.
Nice. So
10,
12?
sorry.
Oh, it's 10. So 10 plus?
Plus 14.
Nice. So 24 points of damage. So I'll tell you what's going to happen, and then you can describe it.
Sure.
You've killed the host, so now the jellyfish is going to come back out.
Okay. I think is the body like long rotted? Like, has it been dead for a little bit?
No, it's recently deceased.
Oh, it just died. It just died. Oh, I heard it die.
Yeah.
Cool. That's unfortunate.
Yeah. You guys were basically listening, just a little behind the scenes. You were listening to the two creatures kind of like fight over who was going to get to possess it while they were waiting for it to die, essentially.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So.
Yeah, Véres doesn't give a fuck about that, but that's good to know, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Shit.
Is it?
No, it's information I didn't want on my brain. But, yeah, no, I think Véres is gonna lift it up. Like, when he comes straight over his head to make like a straight shot all the way through, I think he's gonna try to cut it clean in half like a cake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I will say that you very successfully do that. You do cut this thing in half, and then you watch as the jellyfish kind of slithers out. The body falls to the floor with a thump, and now there is a jellyfish in your face.
Awesome.
Is that your turn?
Yes, that's all I can do.
Okay, Ivy, you're up, and you are currently watching the floor crumble away from you, Elara, Véres, and Jeffrey.
So you guys watch as Ivy starts like looking around. She's like, oh shit, we gotta go. Oh my god, the floor it's giving away. Oh my god,
Ivy,
we have to go right now. We have to go. And she starts running.
So as you start to run, Ivy, on your back, you feel a tendril like slash across your back.
She screams.
6 points of necrotic damage, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Pass, please.
17.
Yep, you pass.
Ivy, make a wisdom save for me.
That is a 17.
Ivy, you feel cold. A kind of cold that sinks to your bones. And the rest of you, Elara, Véres, out of the corner of your eye, you watch as this navy sort of mist begins to coalesce around Ivy. It comes out in pulsing waves, and then it engulfs her, and then it disappears. And Ivy, when it drops, you have a moment of clarity. This isn't real. The floor is not going to give out. That was an illusion. That was a spell. You're fine. Ish.
I think she's breathing heavily. She's like, motherfucker.
That was cool. Okay, it is the jellyfish's turn, who just came out of the body, who is facing off with Véres.
Sup? What's up, dude?
How you doing, Véres? What's your hit points looking like?
Looking like you got 15 left.
Okay, well that's also gonna hit. Yeah, because that's an 18 to hit. That is 8 points of necrotic damage. As again, it lashes one of its tentacles right across your shoulder. And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
I want to know what happens, but I don't think I'll get to know. 18.
You pass.
Cool.
That is its turn. Bia, it is your turn.
Yeah, B is gonna dive bomb the one that attacked Ivy.
That's the one who wasn't inhabiting a body.
That is a 17 plus.
That hits.
Okay. So then that is gonna be 3 points of damage. Piercing.
That is its turn. So it goes to, it doesn't even turn around. It feels Bia, and it goes to lash out with a tendril. I got a 12.
13.
And it whacks a tendril at her, and she dodges it. It's Elara's turn. She's gonna take out a fucking crossbow out of her pocket. She is going to aim at the one who just hit Bia, because that's closest to her. That's a 3 on the die, so the shot goes wide. She does not hit. And that's her turn. So we're at the top of the round. Véres.
How's they looking?
They're looking okay.
Fuck.
They look hurt, but not like too hurt.
Okay. Well, that's great. I think he's gonna bonus action pop a potion.
Health potion?
Yep. That's 9 points back.
Nice.
Yeah, that's his bonus action. I think that he's gonna take an attack on the one in front of him again. 21.
To hit? Yep, that hits.
For 9 points of slashing damage, and I think he's gonna like come up from a diagonal and just slash it across the front of its squishy body.
Nice. Now it's looking fucked up.
Oh yay!
Is that your turn?
Yeah, I think that's gonna be his turn. He can't move because he's surrounded.
He's sandwiched.
He's sandwiched with squishy things.
Ivy, it is your turn.
You guys watch as she pulls the wand out of her boot and smacks it against her hand a couple times and just points. And which one looks the most hurt?
The one that Véres just hit.
3 glowing darts shoot out of the tip. 2 of them go for the one that looks less hurt. 1 goes for the one that is the most hurt. So these are gonna be the 2. These damage for the 2. Then yeah, so 3. So 3 plus 1, 4. 2 plus 1, 3.
So it's 7.
And then the last one is 3, so 4 points of damage.
We all watch as Ivy pulls a wand and shoots magic missiles, essentially.
She smacks it against her hand a couple times and then just fucking points at it and just yells. And you watch as the 3 darts shoot out.
I love it.
And they're red darts.
So at the start of the one who's looking really messed up turn, because I forgot to roll for it last time, it takes 2 points of acid damage and it plops to the floor dead. It had 2 hit points left.
Yes. Okay.
And Elara just goes, yeah, from all the way across the room. It's Bia's turn now because that one just died. So
B's just gonna fly around and yell.
She can disengage. Okay. So now it is the jellyfish's turn. And with only Véres in its sights, it's got no choice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's gonna be a 19 to hit.
Yeah, that fucking hits. Let's go.
That is 7 points of necrotic damage as it rakes across again. And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
I want to know what happens. 22.
Yeah, no, nothing happens.
Fuck.
It's Elara's turn. Crossbow out. She like takes a deep breath and tries to focus her aim. Her hand is fucking shaking. Okay. She misses again. So that's her turn. Véres, top of the round. I thought I had it. She missed it by 1 point.
So close. Oh, I feel like it should like graze it and like just stick in the wall behind it. Like it almost hit.
Yeah. And she's like, okay, I'm getting closer.
I think for a 19 to hit, Véres is gonna take kind of like twist around in their hand and come over from the other side of his scythe, and he's gonna take a slash across it for 14 points of damage.
How do you kill this thing?
Yay!
I think that I feel like he just slices through it like jam. Just
okay. Slice it in half and it falls with a plop to the ground. And it does like a little twitch.
He smashes it again for extra measure.
Congratulations.
We're alive.
We survived.
Woohoo!
Wasn't too bad.
What would have happened if we failed our con?
Your max HP is reduced by 1d6 every time you fail it until you take a long rest.
Yep. Oh god. I think Véres takes a deep breath and straightens up and like moves the stray hair out of his face that got loose. Leans against the wall for a second. Taking a deep breath. After he catches his breath, he's like, are you two alright?
Uh-huh. Ivy's like looking at the wand in her hand. So confused.
Aw. I think Elara is like standing there with her crossbow like still drawn and just like kind of like almost like frozen and like she's in like shock.
I think Véres walks over and like puts a hand on the crossbow and lowers it.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like gently takes it out of her hand.
Yeah, she lets it go.
You did all right. You took one down. Good job. And he hands the crossbow back to her and looks at Ivy and is like, good aim with the wand.
Thank you.
Where did you get that?
It was a gift from my aunt.
Oh, good choice of gift.
She said, use it when you most need it. And I figured, good as time as any.
And he nods, like, yeah, good call.
What spell was that?
I'm almost certain it was magic missile.
Oh, it certainly was magic. It certainly was a missile, so apt name.
You see all the tension drain out of Véres. And he puts the scythe on his back.
Do you need healing? Illegal healing?
Are you two alright? Do you need healing?
I'm okay.
Are you? Insight check. 17.
She looks about half her health.
Véres just kind of waves their hand dismissively. Says, you should probably heal yourself, honestly. Véres looks at quarter of a health.
Elara don't got shit.
Ivy, you said a quarter?
He's at 5.
Oh my god.
Ivy pats his shoulder. And you feel magic healing into your body.
You feel the heal. Aw.
As she like walks away, she pats your shoulder. That is 6 plus 6, 12 points of healing to you.
Oh shit. Thank you. That's 17.
She doesn't say this, but she's like, I think you need it more than we do. Fucking heavy hitter.
I think that they shake their head and like as if like a moment of clarity comes over them. Like they didn't realize how much pain they were in.
Fucked up they were.
Yeah. They're like, oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
She waves her hand as she walks away.
And he goes over to... Oh, actually, there's shit around the room, right?
Mm-hmm. There's like all kinds of items, like personal belongings strewn about.
Ivy's gonna look and see what's around.
Make an investigation check.
17.
Nice.
Okay, so Ivy, you start looking around this room and you find a canteen that seems to be filled with liquid and a pretty nice looking pair of brown leather boots.
She picks them both up and just wordlessly walks over to Elara's pockets and puts them in.
The person that Véres cut in half.
Yeah.
Do they look familiar?
Make an investigation check, but it's going to be a high DC because you cut him in half. So I'm just going to like throw that out there right now.
Cool. That's 19.
It's Gerald from across the street.
It's your best friend Charlie from childhood. It looks like it could be somebody that you saw in like the stack of missing papers. but the face is like kind of a little mangled.
No, you don't.
It's hard to tell for sure.
Okay.
Do you like take the 2 pieces of the head and try to like...
I think he's gonna crouch down on the other side of the body to block their view.
No.
Ivy and Elara just look over as Véres is like taping the head back together.
He just takes both sides of the head and squish.
You're not sure.
Okay.
You got it a minute. You bisected this person.
I did. Yep. Véres stands up, flicks the blood off their hands, and turns around. Goes over to them, says, I think that perhaps it would be best if we head back for the night, get this person to safety, and rest a little.
Oh.
I would like to go to bed so bad right now.
We need to get him out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Right now.
First and foremost.
And she like walks over.
Second and secondmost, bed.
For the sake of brevity, I will say, we go back out to the other room. We take our time getting Jeffrey out of the hole. We drag him through the tunnels.
Drag him. Bear's gonna princess carry him.
Yeah, but I mean, like, there's some parts where you had to, like, crawl.
Oh, right.
Well, no, technically, we just had to shove him through a couple of, like, smaller holes. It's fine. And after a very long time of pulling and dragging and carrying, the 4 of you and Bia make your way out of the tunnels. And you are carrying Jeffrey like a princess. So as you're walking out of the building, Véres, do you untie the 2 guards?
Yeah, he does. He unties and ungags them, just kind of like leaving them to wake up.
At their leisure.
Mm-hmm.
Elara positions their bodies so they're hugged. No, I'm just kidding. And you all make your way out of the building. What's the game plan?
Does he know where he can bring them for medical attention?
Yeah, I feel like it's a small enough town that you would know that the town square is kind of like a circle and all of the like important buildings are in the circle. I think that as you're carrying him, as you get into the town square, one of the town guards that you don't know, Véres, but you recognize the brooch, approaches and directs you to the infirmary. They take him off your hands, thanking you for bringing him. And they advise you to go talk to Riven, but I will say it's like about midnight at this point, maybe later. So maybe tomorrow is a better day for that.
Mm-hmm.
What would you all like to do?
I think Véres takes a second, takes a deep breath, and just like lets it out slowly. Looks at the other 2 and goes, well, I think I'm going to head back to the inn. Did you want to follow me, or?
Ivy nods. Bia also nods.
Elara also nods.
I figured as much. You look exhausted.
No, I'm totally fine. I could do another round.
I'm sure you could. All right. And they turn to head back, and you look at him, and he's back in like the dress shirt and the white poet shirt. You didn't see him change.
Elara rubs her eyes.
As they walk, Ivy goes, Véres, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Did you do theatre growing up?
No.
Well, you've just mastered the art of the quick change, so I was just wondering.
He like looks at you for a moment, considering telling you what it is. He's like, the clothing items I wear are shift weave. And he like, you watch him and it shifts back to that like black outfit he had on earlier. And then it flashes and goes back to the other outfit. There's a couple of them stored.
Where do you get something like that?
You know, that's a good question. I'm not really sure. It was a gift.
Then maybe I wouldn't have to carry so many clothes if I had some of those.
That was the intention. Unfortunately, I still seem to struggle with keeping shirts intact, so it doesn't completely get rid of the need to carry around extra clothing, but...
Fair enough. Elara, are you doing okay?
Yeah, I am so tired. That was a lot of, stuff that happened.
A lot of ick.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of violence, and I'm sure neither of you were expecting it.
I don't know what I was expecting, to be honest with you.
I don't know either. I was actually thinking about that. I have no idea what I was expecting. Are you, Véres, are you okay? You chopped someone in half.
In twain.
So...
I'm alright. Unfortunately, that sort of thing stopped bothering me a long time ago.
Oh.
I'm sorry, however, that I did in front of you.
Yeah, that's okay.
Well,
I mean,
they were...
You probably saved our asses. I would gladly see immeasurable violence if it meant I didn't die.
Yeah, I wouldn't want a jellyfish cracking my jaw open and then climbing down my throat.
That was fucking wild, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't know what I was expecting. That was the least thing that I was expecting. The fuck were those things?
Can I make like an Arcana check or a history check? See if you
History checks, everybody.
Would Ivy have any chance in hell of knowing what these things are, though?
If you roll really high, yes, a special interest.
18.
I got a natural 20.
I got a 5. That fits. Yeah, that fits.
Oh my god, what a...
Okay, so what does Elara glean into her skull?
I got a 26.
What does Elara glean into her soul from the heavens themselves?
Elara reads a lot.
Elara has a beacon directly middle of her forehead, just ah.
Divine intervention knowledge.
I don't know how she would ever know this, but I think as they're walking, yeah, she's like rubbing her eyes, like, and just like, she goes, I could be wrong because I just feel really like tired right now. But I'm pretty sure I read about them once in this book that I found in a library, and I think that they're demons from the 9 hells. And they possess bodies. Although now that I think about it, they only possess dead bodies, so I guess we would have had to be dead in order for them to possess us. And since we were alive, they wouldn't have cracked our jaws open. But still, I feel like they probably wanted to kill us and then, do that.
I think Véres thinks about it a second. And he's like, well, I don't like what that could mean for us. Or this town, for that matter.
What do you mean?
Well, demons don't just come from nowhere. They're either summoned or they come through something.
Right, they come through portals.
Right.
Which are not prevalent here, so if there is a portal, that's a bad thing. Especially one to the 9 hells of all places.
Got a lot to think about. Before I speak to Riven tomorrow morning.
Are you going to tell Riven about the creepy crawlies that we fought?
Oh, of course.
Will we get in trouble? Elara and I, will we get in trouble for being down there?
No, I won't. I won't tell them that you came with me.
Well, a guard just saw us drop off Jeffrey.
I met you on the way.
We were walking back to the inn from a quick jaunt to the...
So you were out past curfew, which you weren't supposed to be. You were out for a walk, and I ran into you. The most you'll get is a slap on the wrist.
Okay, but are you gonna get in trouble?
No, I shouldn't. I'll be alright.
I mean, we did a good thing, didn't we? Why would we have to hide it?
Because I think it's probably a worse offense to be in a restricted part of town that's technically private property, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, we broke a whole slew of laws, breaking and entering, as you said, private property and all that.
Véres beat up 2 guards.
Yep.
And tied them together.
We went exploring, we were out past curfew. I mean, I could continue on, but...
I mean, okay, but you're a town guard.
And you two are not.
Who does forgeries, by the way, which is, not guardly of you. Just saying. But, okay, so you just needed our help, you couldn't handle it alone, and so you called on your new friends who were super capable, and then we all... we saved Jeffrey.
Do you want to be involved?
I mean, I don't think that you should be the one who potentially gets in trouble.
Oh, I'll be alright.
But also, how much trouble are we talking? Because I'm kind of on
possibly go to prison. So maybe don't.
I don't want to go to prison.
Yeah, no, I'm on a 3 strikes you're out type thing, with my mentor, and I don't think they would be super jazzed about me breaking and entering.
So I leave you out. That's all.
How many strikes do you have?
More than 3. It's kind of like a
metaphorical 3 strikes and you're out?
I think so. The last time I I mean, I don't really get caught breaking and entering. Well, no, that's actually not true because I just got caught like yesterday. I mean, I don't do breaking and enterings a lot, but I have a tendency, apparently, to like flash my guild badge around and just assume it's gonna like get me into places, which it does most of the time, honestly, which is why I keep doing it. But then they do reach out to my mentor, and then I usually get like a message or a letter or something from Rohis, who just is like, hey, knock it off. You can't keep doing that. So this would probably be a pretty bad one.
Mm-hmm.
Big deal. But also, you shouldn't be the only one who gets in trouble because honestly,
Elara,
this is all my fault to begin with. Because
as much as I appreciate that, it would be much easier and much better if it was just me in the report.
Okay, well, we should just sleep on it then, probably, and see how we feel in the morning about it.
My answer will not change, but we should get some sleep.
Okay.
And I think maybe we've arrived at the inn, and he holds the door open for them. Just after you.
Ivy does a little sarcastic curtsy and walks in.
Elara giggles. They go upstairs. I think at the top of the stairs, Elara just like looks at the both of them, and she goes, "Okay, good night, and let's talk in the morning before anybody does anything. Maybe, probably."
Can I shower first, or?
Well, yeah, and like if you have to pee or something, you should probably do that too.
Gracious, thank you.
And like brush your teeth. Yeah, brush your teeth. And then we should maybe just like regroup in the morning.
I'll see you all in the morning.
Good night.
Okay. Good night. Who do we want to follow to bed first?
Elara.
Elara gets in her room, and I think she like collapses into the door, like with her back to the door as the door closes, and just like takes a couple of deep breaths and looks around the room. And I think she gets into her pajamas, and then she sits on her bed and like stares for a little bit. What does Ivy do?
I think Ivy gets into the room, and Bia like hops off her shoulder and flies over to the bed and just like immediately lays down and curls up on the other pillow and goes to sleep. Ivy spends her time getting ready for bed. She does her like skincare routine, and then I think she pulls out her journal and takes a moment and then starts writing. She writes about, what happened, how she felt about it. She writes about these people that she knows now that she's hoping will be new friends.
Aww.
Even though she's not used to that and she's not sure how that feels anymore. And I think she's like trying not to cry through this. Her arms hurt. I think she's sore. And Bia is just snoring, which comforts her, I think.
What's Véres doing?
I think Véres gets into their room and closes the door gently behind them and just like leans against it for a minute. Just like closing their eyes to like compose himself. And then they get to checking their room. They look for anything hidden, anybody trying to hide. They, under the bed, in the wardrobe, make sure the shutters are locked. All of the knives that they hid around the room are still there. Then take off their scythe and put it on, like, sit down on their bed and start cleaning it meticulously, making sure it's sharpened. I think that he gets out of the clothing that he was wearing. Just kind of like sits in a pair of pants and just like feels the place where he got slashed on his chest, because it's still painful even though he was healed. And there is no mark on his chest, but he still feels it like as if it's inside, just under the surface nonetheless. I think that he eventually ignores it and gets up and goes and just tries to be productive until he can settle his brain and fall asleep. So he'll sit at his desk for the next little while and just start milling over one of his journals, going over that project he was been working on.
Speaking of projects, I don't think that Elara is sleeping. And I think instead, after like a couple of hours of procrastinating and I think like working on random things and then tossing him to the side, I think that she takes out the amber that she had already started carving some runes into it, and she's pretty well versed at what she's doing. She has a little something I think that she wants to kind of like try out, but she needs a little bit of help. I think she's wearing pajamas that have pockets on them. She put some stuff in like the chest pockets, and then in her shorts have like pockets on the side. So she put some stuff in there too. And she makes her way down the hallway to Véres' room, and she knocks on the door.
This is a couple of hours later, you said?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like 2 hours later, maybe.
Okay. Elara, make a perception check.
5.
Cool.
Thank you.
You don't really hear much, and then suddenly the door you hear a couple of locks unclicking, or like he's struggling with the lock on the door, and you hear muttered like, "Who the fuck is at my door?"
Hey, it's me. It's Elara. Me. Hi. Sorry.
It creaks open. When he like opens it a crack, you kind of see the glint of something sharp in their hand as they peer through the door.
She like puts her hands up.
And they narrow their eyes at you. Then put they kind of open the door all the way. Is there something you needed?
Yeah, I couldn't sleep, and I was kind of like kept thinking about these rocks and these gems that we found, and I was just wondering if you had like a couple of minutes to just like chat about these gems.
They step aside out of the doorway and gesture for her to come in.
She enters
and closes the door behind her and puts the knife back in a sheath on the wall.
Nice.
Goes over to the bed and digs into their pack and pulls the shirt over their head. Like, say, what is it you wanted to go over? Just the rocks?
Elara has already like sat down on the floor. She wasn't paying attention to any of that stuff. And she takes out her like little tinkerer's tools out of her pocket. It's kind of like a Swiss Army knife almost. She goes, do you still have the garnet that you asked for earlier? Yesterday? I don't remember what it was. It's all a blur.
He thinks about it. He goes, one moment. And he goes over to his bag and starts like digging through it. Comes back with the garnet.
So I think she takes it, and I would like to try again to finish carving that rune that she failed on like the other night, connecting the piece to try to like be able to be activated to release the spell. Can I roll for that?
Yeah.
It's a 5 on the die, so just forget it.
Oh boy.
She goes, okay, well, this is not gonna work. I think that like her hands are like shaking, honestly. So she kind of like tosses it to the side, and she goes, that was really a lot, that whole thing that happened. I've never fought anything before.
He looks he kind of like he's listening to you. I think he comes down and he sits on the floor with you, not wanting to tower over you. He picks up the gem that you tossed and puts it back in the center, like in the center between them.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, you've never fought anything at all?
No. Most of my inventions and stuff I've only used for like kind of like pranks and things like that.
For pranks. So your acid was used for?
Oh, well, no, I mean not that. No, not the acid. But my glove, people used to know not to shake my hand back in Halsveer.
I pity those in Halsveer.
She laughs.
And he looks at her and says, you did very well for somebody who has never fought before.
Oh, well, I mean, thank you. I did miss twice with my crossbow. I've never, I don't even know why I have it, honestly. When I first started traveling, someone was like, you should have like a weapon. And I was like, well, crossbows look kind of cool, but I've never even shot it before. And my acid, I mean, my nanobots pretty much do the work for me, I just had to hit the thing, and then they just ate it away.
No, it's quite impressive. And it is a good idea to have a weapon with you on the road. One never knows. Bandits and whatnot out there.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps you should learn to use it.
Like for real?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe. things have gotten way more dangerous, like in the past 2 days.
I don't dare to presume what you are going to continue doing in your spare time, but if you continue sticking your nose into dangerous situations like that, it would be better for you, I think.
Yeah, I didn't know it was going to be dangerous.
I warned you.
She nods.
I'm sorry I didn't make it more clear.
No, I mean, it's okay. I just didn't think that, this kind of stuff would happen, I guess, really. I didn't even, it didn't even enter my thought, you know? But that is kind of why I wanted to, ask for your help right now.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I kind of want to do like a little science experiment, with one of the gems that I found. But, well, I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen. And you have that really big scythe that chops people in half. It's not, it won't be a person. There's not like a person that's going to like pop out or anything like that. But she reaches into the pocket on her chest and she pulls out like a little satchel. And then she opens the little satchel and out of it comes the exoskeleton of a spider made out of different metal pieces.
I think he like looks at it for a second, goes, "What is that?"
Well, right now it's nothing, but, and she reaches into a pocket on her shorts and she pulls out the amber that she has carved some runes into. And she goes, you might want to get your scythe just in case.
All right then, just give me a moment. And they, not sure what's gonna happen or what the fuck this is. They get up, go to the door, lock the door, go to the shutters, make sure that they're locked, and then goes and gets the scythe.
Elara watches all that.
They kind of stand poised to hit it.
Yeah, Elara stands up while you're doing that.
Just in case it tries to scuttle away or whatever it is that you're making.
Mm-hmm. It might do that. I don't know what it's going to do. And she puts so she takes the amber, and on the top of the exoskeleton's like kind of little body, there's like a little part where this gem looks like it would just kind of sit in there perfectly. She puts the amber in and she takes out her little tinker's tools and she like finishes kind of connecting this last piece of a rune. And I guess I'm assuming I don't have to roll for it because it's like one of my artificer class things, right?
I think you should roll for it anyway. Sleight of hand plus proficiency to carve.
That's a total of 16.
Yeah, I think you finished the line perfectly. Perfectly straight.
So as she finishes the line, I think you see like a little hum of power kind of go over the gem and all the runes kind of like light up and then dim out. And this little, about the size of her hand, mechanized spider kind of jitters to life. And she looks at it and she waits and she's like, okay, come on. And she stares at it and she's like, come on. And you watch as its 8 little legs kind of like shink in and then they shink out into these little wings and it flies up like 3 feet above everybody's head. And she's like, okay. And then it comes down and it just kind of looks at her. And she goes, okay, you can put your scythe away now.
I think he puts it down on the bed, but like doesn't look away. He goes, what in the hells is that?
Well, I think it's a Norman. Do you think it looks like a Norman?
A what?
Norman.
Oh, like for a name?
Yes.
Sure. You made this.
Mm-hmm.
He like kind of like crouches back down and like looks at it.
Well, he's supposed to be like look like an actual real spider. But I think yesterday when I dropped the gem, when you asked me for the garnet and I dropped the amber, I think something got nicked on it. But it's okay, because now he'll just be like, his own little special thing.
How did you make this?
Like the exoskeleton or the gem?
No, it's powered by something.
Yeah, it's kind of like, well, you're not gonna like tell on me, right? I feel like we've done like crimes together already.
And wave your hand in a dismissive action.
Okay. It's just a gem that I've carved runes into, and it kind of acts like a magical battery.
Oh, so you use runes sort of like a kind of conduit for magic to guide it into what it does?
Mm-hmm.
Fascinating. You are a marvel. You know that, right?
I think you know what, I'm okay. Thank you. She like doesn't make eye contact at all.
They just smirk a bit. Of course, credit where it's due. You know, I'm actually working on a project that requires the use of runes or sigils. I'm not really sure which to use. Maybe you can help, if you'd like. No pressure, of course.
Yeah, I am doing everything I can to avoid sleep tonight. So science projects, yes. Mm-hmm. Or maybe not science, whatever yours is, it's fine.
I think he stands and picks up his notebook from the desk, and he puts it on the ground. And you see in the book, on the pages, like a series of what you can only describe it and you know to be as like arcane equations. They are a string of runes written out to make an effect. Do you want to make an Arcana check to see if you can figure out what it's for?
Fuck yeah, I do. That's pretty good. That is a dirty 20.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So like you look at it and right away you're seeing runes for like channeling and dispersing magic and like snuffing out spells and redirecting that energy to other sources and holding energy. It is a complicated series of runes making up this arcane equation. And beside it, because it seems like in the margins he's written that it doesn't quite match what he wants it to do, he's taken the runes apart and created sigils, which is it's like they're easier to work with to make specialized effects. But it looks like he's missing something, and he points to it. And he says, the last part, the absorbing and redistributing, I can't quite figure out which rune to use.
So I think she like looks at it and she kind of like reads it, and as she's reading it, she's kind of like whispering under her breath and like reading stuff out loud. And she goes, do you want to look at my big book of runes? It's not actually called that, but it has like an official, she does like air quotes, like name. She goes, but I just call it the big book of runes because it's a pretty big book, and it has runes in it.
I mean, it seems pretty apt, honestly. You could knock someone out with that book.
Yeah.
Sure, if you don't mind, if it's not too much trouble.
Yeah, no. And she like stands up really quick, and she goes to the door.
Unlocks it.
She tries to open it, and she like pulls it and it's locked.
Face plants.
She runs right into the door. No. She unlocks it and she goes, okay, I'll be right back. And she runs down the hallway.
I think they're just gonna smirk a bit.
She runs into her room. She grabs her jacket and she runs back down the hallway. So she doesn't knock when she comes back. Is the door open?
Yeah, she left it open. It's open.
Okay. So she comes back in and she kind of like, I think accidentally like slams the door closed because she's like super excited. And she sits back down on the floor and she kind of like throws her jacket on the floor. And she reaches into a small, like a pocket that's small, and she pulls out this huge book and plops it down. And she just kind of starts like flipping through it. And she goes, okay, so what are you thinking?
You mean like for effect or the rune? That's what I'm thinking.
Pick a rune, any rune. It's probably in this book.
I think that he starts listing off a couple that he was considering, and they'll go through the book.
So she kind of like flips around and she goes, okay, so this one is for redistribution. Do you have something like this?
I think he leans over and looks at the book, and then like looks at the notes, like cross-referencing, and he goes, no, I don't have that one written down as an option, actually. So he like makes a note.
But you have to be like really careful. You have to be like really meticulous with these, otherwise they won't work.
They nod. Oh, I'm aware. I've had a few accidents already. Trial and error and whatnot.
She smiles. Mm-hmm. Definitely. I've never had any weird accidents happen with runes at all.
He looks at you.
I think as you say that, the door to Véres's room opens, and Ivy just waltzes in. She's wearing like a black silk night dress that like comes to her knees, and it's like spaghetti straps. She's like, are we having a slumber party, or did you get dared to run down the hallway at Mach 10?
You see Véres jump a little bit and look up, and like he looks up at you, and like a hand is under the bed. Ivy, make a perception check for me.
Elara literally looks up and goes, "Hi, Ivy," and goes right back to the book.
22.
22? Okay. Ivy, where his hand is, you notice the handle of a blade strapped underneath the bed. And when you notice that, you take a second to look around, and you notice a couple of others around the room. One directly against the wall right beside the door behind you. You see one on either side of the mattress, one under a pillow, one at the desk. That's all you can see. God knows how many else there are.
She crosses her arms. I'm sorry, Véres. It kind of sucks that they have you in the arsenal.
Elara looks around, finally taking notice of the room.
Yeah, the bed is like, it looks like the covers just got peeled down to go to bed and then were just abandoned. But otherwise, his room is very tidy. He goes, you mean the armory?
Same difference.
Sure.
And she goes to sit on the bed and she goes, am I going to sit on a shield or something? Or can I sit on the bed?
I think he laughs. He's like, no, Ivy, you won't sit on a shield. Did she shut the door behind her?
No. I don't think she thought to do it.
He sighs and gets up and shuts the door and locks it.
Elara goes, did I wake you up?
Yes.
Sorry.
You did, very much so.
We're doing rune stuff.
Kinky?
No, not at all.
She goes, it's actually all very scientific. Well, magic too.
I mean, you know, so is the other thing, but sure.
Elara just goes back to her book. Did you actually fall asleep, Ivy?
No. I was journaling.
Okay. I mean, I would have asked you for help, but it was more of like a scythe situation than a throwing magic across the room situation.
Why is looking at your book of runes so dangerous?
Well, because you never know. If you do the wrong thing with the rune, there could be something weird that happens, you know? Also, and she reaches into her pocket on her chest, and she pulls out a fucking mechanized spider. And, like, as she's, like, she pulls it out, and, like, she doesn't put it down, she just, like, lets it go. And you see the legs sink in, and then it just starts, like, flying. And she goes, this is Norman. I made him.
Hello, Norman.
He doesn't talk.
I can still say hi.
You can, yes. Mm-hmm.
She watches Norman, like, fly. And she goes, Bia's going to try to be friends with Norman.
Oh, she's gonna be disappointed. He's not real. I mean, he's real.
I don't think she feels disappointment, to be honest with you.
Oh, well, okay. Then it'll be fine.
I think Véres is still scribbling. He's frantically writing notes and cross-referencing with the room book. He's listening, half listening.
I mean, I guess it's good, you know, that we're all like that the three of us are here now because we can talk about maybe a little bit about what happened, or if anyone is like scared or anything, they can talk about it here.
Do you have something you want to talk about, Elara?
No. I feel really totally fine about it, honestly. I think that just another day, you know, murdering demons and resetting people's bones. Do you think that Jeffrey's gonna lose his arm? I really did my best, but I don't know if it was enough, I guess. I'm pretty handy with my healer's kit, but I've never had to like set a bone that was like out of someone's skin before.
They are a little more tricky to set, that's for sure.
I mean, to be fair, this was the first time I've really pulled out all the stops of my magic. I really only just kind of practiced on dummies, you know? My life really didn't call for anything like that prior.
Well, you did a really great job. I think that I think we all did our best, so that's really good.
Véres nods and closes the book with a little snap, setting it aside for now, and goes, I think you both did really well for your first time fighting something, actually. It's quite impressive.
Thanks. You did a great job, too.
Without you, we'd probably all be dead.
I was thinking the same about you two, actually.
Well, we all just kind of needed, each other to, survive.
They nod. I would most definitely be dead.
We do make a great team.
Elara nods.
We can't argue with that. That was a lot. That fight was. And you don't have to pretend like you're alright. No one expects you to be after something like that. You did wonderful. You're alive, we're all okay, and we saved somebody. That's a lot to be proud of. But it's alright to not be okay. You don't have to bury it. You should probably actually sit with it when you have a moment and examine it.
Noted. I'm not particularly good at that kind of thing, so, witty banter is my specialty. I know I seem like an open book.
No, I don't think so. You've got a sort of deflecting habit, I think.
I thought you were going to say ethereal beauty about you, but that works too.
I mean, I won't argue that, but...
I just feel really, that could have been me down there. And, I didn't think that there was real danger, But you know what? I don't know, because then honestly, if I didn't go into the tunnels, and then I didn't tell you all about it, then we wouldn't have found out what's going on, and maybe now that we killed those two things, people will stop going missing, and things will get better,
He looks at you, and he feels real bad to ruin your optimism, and goes, I only wish that were true, Elara.
What do you mean?
I don't think it was just those monsters taking people.
Why?
Well, the blood marks by the hole leading to the slide would be an indication. The person who took Ash.
Yeah. I mean, the monsters, no, and then she kind of thinks about it and she goes, no, those, from what I read, those demons don't really, they wouldn't be able to, imitate a person. You saw how it crawled, all, and she, shakes her head thinking about it, all backwards and upside down.
Mm-hmm.
So then there's probably people.
I think we might be dealing with something a little bit more humanoid, unfortunately.
I certainly do think that we're dealing with a cult. Or rather, this town is.
Okay, so, what's the plan, then?
Well, my plan was for the morning to go talk to Riven, tell them what happened, find more information, see what we can do, who we can gather from the guard, and go try to root them out. The problem, they shake their head, I think that the cult might have infiltrated the people up here as well.
Why do you say that?
Because I've seen two cloaked figures with the same disfiguration on the guard.
Oh.
Did they hiss at you?
No, but they weren't exactly pleasant.
Ivy, what is your plan for tomorrow, then?
Kill some cultists?
Okay. I was gonna say I kind of wanted to go, mail a letter to my parents at the local science class. But,
to dichotomate between those two answers, I'll go with you.
Yeah, we can do that first, and then...
Yes, let's mail a letter first, and we'll put this by order of importance.
Yeah.
Mail letter. Contact Riven.
Yeah.
Kill some cultists.
While we're at it, I believe we should stop by the general store as well.
Yeah.
There's a few things we should get.
We could do that first.
So okay, general store.
No, wait, can we have breakfast first, though? We have breakfast first?
Do we also want to add pissing in the morning? Do we really need to get so far into the minutiae of this to-do list?
Breakfast is not minutia. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. I read that somewhere.
Breakfast is overrated.
I've literally never heard that phrase.
Have you ever had chocolate chip pancakes?
No, I can't say that I have.
No.
Okay, well, game changer. Tomorrow morning, chocolate chip pancakes.
They don't have them here, remember?
They don't have them here. You're right. Well, then, just forget it. Forget it.
I've had a lot of different chocolate things, but I don't think I've ever had chocolate for breakfast.
Well, we will get that then at some time.
Varys kind of like nods to Ivy, because mine usually consists of, protein, things to keep me moving through the day.
Yes, chocolate chip pancakes get me through the day.
I normally have just like some form of eggs and toast, because we had to make our own breakfast in the morning. And that's really the only thing I know how to make is scrambled eggs.
Okay, that's a weird thing to say.
What's a weird thing to say that I know how to make scrambled eggs?
No,
Am I bragging about knowing how to make scrambled eggs, or
no, that you had to make your own breakfast in the morning?
Yes.
What is that? Like so do I. So do I. So do most people. Right? Like,
oh, you come from money, don't you?
No. No.
I mean, money is a weird concept. We're comfortable.
Elara rolls her eyes.
Varys rubs her face.
We generally had somebody, some buddies come in around lunch and make lunch and dinner, and then they would leave for the night. And we had to make our own breakfast. That's not a normal thing?
No, that's
Alright.
like part of the upper echelon of society. People who are comfortable still have to cook their own meals.
I mean, virtually everybody I know has people that come in and make food for them.
Right, because you're in the upper part of Ixalan, where you live.
The upper part of Ixalan, right.
Where there's tunnels with magical rocks that go underneath the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what part of this is weird.
No, you know what, honestly, though? The weirdest part is,
that I make my own breakfast?
No. That, I think it's weirder that Véres seems to be so cool about, dead bodies and cutting people in half stuff.
Well, he's an adventurer. That's what adventurers do.
I thought you were a town guard who forges things.
Oh, today.
Oh.
Haven't you read the stories about adventurers, Elara?
I mean, I guess.
They take odd jobs between, big quests.
Okay. Do you read a lot of, fantasy books, Ivy?
I read a lot, yes. There's really not much to do.
When someone is making lunch and dinner for you.
Do you make your lunch and dinner at all hours? Are you working from noon to dusk, making your lunch and dinner? Do you not have time to read books? I don't understand.
No, the average person is working all day. So they work, bring the lunch with them.
I work.
Come home and make the dinner later.
What is your job, Ivy?
I thought you said you never had a job in your life.
I've never had I don't have a job, but I do work.
Do you want to elaborate?
Sure. I do studies. So if you really want to have a breakdown of my daily life, I wake up generally around 9, and then I make my breakfast, and then around 11 I do studies depending on the day. It's either my aunt who does it or it's my father, depending on if my aunt is busy with other stuff. And then I have lunch for an hour, and then I do, and she pauses for a second, etiquette classes.
Oh.
To see the reaction.
Oh, Varys cringes.
For 2 hours. And then I've got other types of studies, and I read and write.
Yeah.
And
okay.
then I practice magic, and I have dinner, and I have free time until it's time to trance.
This whole time Varys has been working another string of arcane equations.
So you just practice magic just out in the open?
Inside.
Okay.
Inside either our house or at
Insight check. That's a 6.
Yeah, no, it's totally a house.
It's a house.
It just sounds kind of more like the way that you describe your life and the things that you do and the magic and the not knowing stuff. It sounds more like you come from the Eldritch Vale than Ixalan.
Vera shrugs. Like, they do practice magic in the capital.
Fair. I guess I know more about like the scientific part of it.
To be fair, science stuff was on my agenda until I just...
Discovered your sorcerer abilities?
What? My sorcerer abilities?
Yeah.
Why do you think I'm a sorcerer?
Because you did magic, and you don't have a spell book. Are you a warlock?
Is it just those here?
No. In Grimford?
You tell me what classes you know.
She goes, well, there's druids too, but I figured if you were a druid, you would have wild-shaped and down there, you know, in the tunnel.
Not every druid wants to wild shape as their first instinct.
That's fair.
There's just like, there's also like bards.
I'm totally a bard.
Clerics. Paladins occasionally.
Insight check when you say paladins.
9.
It's a 10.
No, she's fine. I'm a druid.
Oh, my mom's a druid.
Oh, that's so funny because my dad and my mom are an artificer.
My dad's not a druid.
What's your dad?
He's an alchemist.
Okay.
That's why I thought, like, because my mom, not that she's like in danger a lot, but whenever, the one time that I ever saw that she was in danger, she didn't wild shape into something. She like came out of wild shape and was like, I'm gonna get you. So yeah. So it was like a reverse druid, So that was pretty cool.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really like to wild shape, really. So
that's fair.
I imagine the discomfort of transforming into another creature probably gets it old.
Yeah, it must be weird for like your whole body to like, kind of like, and then she like shakes her head thinking about the body in the tunnel.
Oops.
Yeah, it's not really like that for me. I don't wild shape.
That's okay. I don't do a lot of the things that artificers do, so I get it. How's that equation coming along, Véres?
You give a thumbs up.
What class are you, Véres? You're like a fighter or a...
Sure.
Insight check.
Go ahead.
That is a 19.
That is an 18. So no, that is not what he is. You sense you're close, though.
All right, so crossing fighter off the list. Thank you for being forthcoming.
He just chuckles and looks up from the equation because recently delving into barbarian.
Oh, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know you could just change like that.
I didn't know if it was changed. I wasn't really much before.
And I mean, why can't you? You can just study something new.
Generally, you pick something and you stick with it.
Sure, but you don't have to.
This seems like a foreign concept to her.
Elara gets like wide eyes. She goes to say something and then she like doesn't say anything.
I'm of the mind that you can do, whatever brings you joy in life.
That's how it should be.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
If you want to do, I don't know, multiple classes, then why couldn't you?
You just have to practice.
Mm-hmm.
I think she just kind of looks like she's really thinking that over.
No, the concept of sticking to one thing seems awfully droll. Unless, it makes you happy. And of course, power to you.
I mean, to be fair, I tried really hard to be an artificer, and I broke every mechanical thing that I touched.
He smiles. It's like, not everyone is meant to be an artificer.
I think you have to be really smart to be an artificer, honestly.
Absolutely. He looks at Elara.
Not saying anything. She's like she's doing a project in the corner. She's like patting her pockets.
He like gestures a thumb towards Elara. He's like, she's kind of a genius.
Oh, she very much is, yes.
She goes, oh, look at the time. She looks at her watch on her wrist. It's late. We should go to bed, probably, right?
Are you going to thunder step through the hole again?
No, maybe not this time. I was just running to get my book because I was excited, you know?
Do you mind if I borrow it for the night? I'll give it back to you in the morning.
Yeah, just don't steal it. Because if you do, Norman will find you.
He looks at you, blinks a couple times, and goes, "And I thought I was a scary one."
She smiles.
That was terrifying. You will get your book back in the morning, I promise. I'm not going to run off with it.
Okay. She stands up. She picks up her jacket. Well, this was, fun.
Ivy gets up and walks over to the door and holds it open for Elara. She's like, all right, good night, Vez.
Vez.
He looks at you weird.
She looks back at you weird.
Good night, Ivy.
She goes, good night, Véres.
Good night, Elara.
As they start walking down the hall, she goes, is that what we're calling him now?
That's what I've been calling them.
She goes, I've never heard you call them that before.
I called them that in the tunnel.
Or maybe I was a little distracted with all the, dead body, things going on.
That's fair. If there was a way to shorten your name, I would, because I like to give my friends nicknames. But, L doesn't really fit, I don't think. I kind of feel like Elara is a shortened version of your name, considering you give your full name every single time.
Is that like a weird, is it a weird thing?
I'm just not used to people giving their names, to be honest with you.
Oh. Well, I guess too, I'm used to wearing a guild badge, which has my full name on it anyway,
That's terrifying.
Why?
Why would you readily give up your name like that?
So people know it.
There's power in names, Elara.
And then you don't have to go through the whole my name is Elara Spindlespark thing. They can just look on your badge and know.
That's true.
Or have you ever forgotten someone's name and you're in like that really awkward moment where you're like, oh, and then it's like too late to ask them what their name actually is?
No.
No? You just remember?
No, I just ask people how to spell their names.
Oh, that's a good idea. I'm gonna go to bed now.
All right. Good night.
Good night.
Ivy opens her door and you hear Bia snoring.
Aw.
Véres has locked the door the second they left.
Elara goes into her room, and I think they all go to sleep eventually.
Eventually.
We do, and we all level up to level 3, so.
Hell yeah.
Yay!
Thanks so much for listening. We're incredibly grateful for the love and support.
And P.S., if you want more content, check out our Patreon for free clips, bonus scenes, and if you join the Red Rogues, you'll get access to the Rainbow Dice Club chat and after show where we talk about past episodes.
If you're enjoying the show, please consider leaving us a 5-star review and tell your friends about us.
Special thanks to our Green Fiend Patreon supporters, Jen Bear and Michael.
And with that, our story pause is here for today. Join us next time as we continue our adventures, and remember, it's never too late to start your own.
Bye!
Did you say +6?
To hit. Yeah, I did. Sorry, why?
I have a +5 to hit.
Is that too high? Listen, you gave bats like 20 something hit points. And like what was it? Was it a D6 of damage?
Yeah.
So these have a D6 of damage too.
My bats didn't have a +6 to hit. I share the same armor class as a fucking pseudo dragon.
I like that you said that because I wasn't gonna. Point it out. Fairly certain that was magic missile. Let me re-say that a second in with his accent.
No, just change the accent. He got hit so hard. His accent changed. So I genuinely think what's going to have to happen to get this man out of the hole is...
I just imagine the Véres is going to have to like propel himself up.
I don't see another way. Unless we go searching for like a board. When like someone gets airlifted out. But he would be like scraping on the wall and I feel like it would flip. I'm just gonna say
would kill him.
It would. Have you seen the video of the rescue copter where they bring up the person on the board and it just starts spinning out of control.
Oh my god.
You ever see the beach and those lifeguards on that beach in Australia when they like run in the board with the board and like they fall off the front of it, or like they try to put someone on it and it just flips over? That's what I imagine.
Also, because we're not going to kill this man for like silly jokes, right? We're going to say that roll your dice, baby.
Dice, baby.
That's good.
Do it 10 more times.
Okay, who wants to get into character? Oh, wait.
Damn it.
You're too busy getting funky with them dice.
Mm-hmm. We told you to stop.
Oh boy, I am nowhere near the headspace for D&D right now.
Lucy, you have to stop making weird mouth noises right next to the microphone. Please go lay down. Go lay down. Lucy, go lay down. Go.
I would love you to know that was actually me.
No, it wasn't. It was Lucy.
Wayra's in your walls.
You have to stop making weird mouth noises next to the microphone.
Wayra's in your walls.
Yep. I wish Wayra was in my walls. I would get you out. Okay.
I was gonna say I do not want to be Diantha. Thank you very much. But
Diana.
Deanna. You said Diantha.
Oh, sorry, Deanna.
Fuck me.
You okay?
I'm fine.
Have you ever had chocolate chip pancakes? Have you?
Do you make your lunch in dinner? Do you make your
what's the magic town?
Magic town.
Come from the magic town.
Come from their magic towns.
The magic town. Sorry, one second.
Magic.